Well, hello. Welcome to Tarot to a T. Today we're going to do a mid-February 2023 reading for the sign of Scorpio. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. And if you've made a generous donation to my virtual tip jar, which I will tell you how to get to that at the end of the video. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I just want to say thank you to those of you who have donated, okay? So what message does Scorpio need to hear for mid-February 2023? What message? And hopefully I won't have an interruption. It's my, I'm having a couple days off here, and I've been trying to get these readings done. It's easier to do on days I don't work. And I've just been having a heck of a time trying to keep the phone from ringing and the sirens from going. So perhaps the universe will be kind enough to give me the time here to finish this reading for you. Oh, and let's not forget technical difficulties with my camera. But I think I have it sorted out. So let's go ahead and get started, not worry about that until we have it happen. How about that? The Jack of Diamonds. Could be dealing with a younger earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. If not, it could be that you are experiencing some kind of money situation that you're not familiar with, hence unexperienced. And as an example, perhaps you have more money, available to you than you're used to. On the flip side of that, maybe you're having a shortage. I hope not, but we will see. We'll keep going here, Scorpio. The Eight of Clubs. So you need to make some kind of decision, very possibly around these finances. This is also kind of being stuck on an idea or a fixed, stuck on some kind of outcome that you want. It is a bit of stubbornness. I'll grant you that. Nonetheless, it puts you in this position of having to go one way or the other. There's usually not multiple options with the Eight of Clubs. It's kind of like a T in the road, that crossroads decision type of thing. The Ten of Hearts. Well, something completed here that fulfilled you on a very deep level. This is actually celebration. It's spending time with family and friends. It wraps up a major chapter in your life. I'm going to check the camera because I just heard something. I apologize. Okay. Nope, we're fine. Sorry, I'm super paranoid about that because I've had to do readings over and I don't know, I just feel like when the message needs to come out, it needs to be recorded. The Ten of Diamonds. Wow, another major completion here. This has to do with prosperity and success. Again, what did I say earlier with that Jack of Diamonds? You could have some abundance, laying at your feet here that you're not used to having. And therefore, it's a new experience. It doesn't mean that you are in a predicament of not knowing what to do. It's just something you're not used to. Now, the decision with the Eight of Clubs could be, how do you invest it? For example, what do you do? So maybe you don't have to work anymore, and so what do you do with your time? Right? Because we all need to feel like we're contributing some way to the world. Maybe for a while you'll be on vacation or whatever, but eventually we have to fulfill ourselves with something in life. That would be a fantastic position for you to be in. I'm envious. But you're in this energy of celebration, so I don't think it's a case of somebody passed away and then you got this inheritance. I don't think it's something like that. I think something you definitely earned. This is about success. Like reaching a goal that you set for yourself. So it probably has to do with business, employment, that kind of thing. Let's go ahead and ask for more cards from Scorpio. What else can you tell me about Scorpio's situation for mid-February 2023? Well, things are up in the air for you. No doubt. This is also the Fool energy, the Fool card in traditional tarot. And with the Fool card, a lot of people interpret that as a new start. Well, you could look at this as a new start, especially if you've wrapped up a chapter and now you're looking at a very different financial future. That's a new start upon itself, right? I also see the Fool energy as not knowing what lies ahead. And I think with the decision that perhaps needs to be made and you're just kind of stuck, that's also that energy of not knowing which way to go, but also not knowing about outcomes. The Fool energy, I think, is a little mysterious, but it's not necessarily a negative, as in, you don't know what's coming and you better be careful, but I always see it as positive. Because I think we try to convince ourselves that we can control every aspect of life, and we forget there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of things out of our hands, and look at that, the change in finances here. This Five of Diamonds usually it's some kind of negotiation or settlement that brings about this change. I mean, it could have something to do with this Ten of Diamonds. It's kind of a hard connection for me to make. Honestly, I'm an intuitive reader, so I read kind of the energy signature of what you're experiencing and what you're going through, but I don't necessarily know the particulars of the situation. So if it fits your situation that there was a settlement, and as a result, you're here and you're here, I mean, it could be a severance package, like leaving a company, leaving a job, or maybe a company that you had interest, financial interest in. It could also be some kind of legal situation where there was a negotiation, a settlement that left you in this very, very nice, prosperous position. And that would be a celebration, of course. And if it's been going on a long time, of course, again, the chapter being closed, something wrapping up. That all actually makes sense. And not knowing what's ahead with that Fool energy. Just kind of like, okay, that's over. Actually, you know what I'm getting? Somebody out there who has been putting a lot of time, effort, energy, mental energy into, let's say, a drawn-out legal battle. And now it's like you don't know what to do with yourself. It's also kind of that energy of somebody being so busy and focused on work for so many years, for so long, and then they reach retirement, they don't know what to do with themselves. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. That's what I'm picking up. The Queen of Spades, you may not be revealing to those around you what you're going through. The Queen of Spades has power and authority, and I a lot of times equate power and authority with finances, with money, especially if you're wealthy, because that brings us power we wouldn't have otherwise. Unfortunately, it's the way the world works, right? But she holds back, and so there's a little bit of curiosity around her, a little suspicious. People are suspicious of her, and we're not looking at genders, not necessarily female energy. It's just that because she doesn't reveal what she's thinking or feeling or planning, again, the Fool energy, not knowing where things are headed, people are suspicious of her motives. The suspicion goes to the point where maybe people think you're up to... So let's say you have run into a lot of money and you're not sharing that with everybody, that knowledge. People might think that you are up to no good and just kind of being antisocial. I don't want to use bad language on here, but people just think you're being an ass. You're being closed off. You're being like I said, antisocial, not communicating, and they might have their own suspicions, and they jump to conclusions that aren't there. Okay, but on the other hand, you're in this new position, and you just don't want to share it. You see my point? So people are suspicious of you when there really isn't any reason to be. It's just that it's not something you want to share with people. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Oh, also, I did want to mention Scorpio. This is also air energy, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. I mean, you may have that in your chart. I think that's you. I don't know. That's why I didn't even mention it. Honestly, a second ago, I was like, this is what you're doing. You're keeping your mouth shut about it. Whatever transpired, even though you're enjoying it and you're in a very good position, I think you're just not spreading the news for whatever reason. The Seven of Diamonds, wow. This is exactly up the same alley here. This is warning against taking gambles, avoiding unnecessary financial risks. Yeah, you've got decisions to make around finances. I'm getting that very, very strong. Yeah, there's a lot of diamonds out here, hence pentacles, but I'm just getting like someone who's not used to having. There's a lot of cautions. So there's going to be some warnings. Even if you're not headed that way, you may not be the kind of person who would take, gambles with it. You're being cautioned. Just take it as a friendly reminder. The Four of Clubs, yeah, well, it goes without saying that everything's secure and hunky-dory and stable in your home life. This is all about balance. So your lifestyle, where you're living, yeah, not an issue for you right now. Maybe not ever again. It might be that nice for you, that sweet of a deal. Oh, these came out together. Okay, the Ten of Spades and the Eight of Hearts. Wow. The Ten of Spades talks about, again, a major cycle ending, but this is pretty devastating. The Ten of Spades can be like a major relationship ending, a marriage. It could be the death of someone passing away. It could be losing a career that you put a lot of hard work, years of effort into. Perhaps you built it from the bottom up. There's a period of grieving associated with the Ten of Spades. The Eight of Hearts is about going out and socializing, spending time with family and friends. It's almost like it's the remedy. I'm not sure what transpired for you that was so devastating. It's giving me a little bit of an inkling, an insight into something here that ended very nicely for you in the end. But it was hard. This Ten of Spades tells me there's something very difficult you went through, Scorpio. The Eight of Hearts is the remedy. It's saying, spend time with people who you trust, who, take care of you, who love you. And it's socializing. It's going out to dinner. It's going, depending what part of the world you live in. If it's the winter, there's not a whole lot you can go out and do unless it's indoors. But it's going out and having fun. The Eight of Hearts also talks about, we'll talk about this in a second, there's a potential here to meet somebody special with the Eight of Hearts. Somebody who, it could be romantic, for sure, but somebody who's going to be somebody very significant in some way. So it's like meeting the person who ends up being your best friend for the rest of your life, perhaps even like a business partner. That actually gave me a lot of insight. Well, it just gave me a new angle into this reading. So you went through something very difficult, and you're being called to spend time with other people, not be stuck in this. Because I think this is what you're doing, keeping to yourself. Yeah. Wow. I feel like my mind just opened up. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and look at cards of advice. Ace of Clubs. So you're being encouraged here on a new start, and this is about learning a new skill. I mean, if you're not in the position of having to work anymore, it's just about learning something new that you can get into and focus your energy on. Definitely a new start, though. Now, if you did leave a job situation and it was this devastating, terrible thing, it could be, learning a new career or learning skills that will put you in a new career. You see what I'm driving at? Yeah, and this is taking control. The King of Clubs. The King of Clubs is a usually a person in. They have power and authority, sure, but they're in this position to give good guidance. I mean, if you're represented by the King of Clubs, not sure. This is also fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. It's about taking control and guiding yourself and mentoring yourself, perhaps down this new path. Wow, this is turning out very interesting. The Four Diamonds, again, you have a windfall. You have a windfall. And again, in your advice, it's acknowledging that you need to be careful with spending. Even though you have this windfall. This is the windfall card. So yeah, I'm talking to a Scorpio or a group of Scorpios who have had some kind of financial gain lately of significance. And the Nine of Hearts, yeah, this is wish fulfillment. Okay, so it's actually very clear to me. Again, it's that energy of not having to work and figuring out what to do with yourself going forward. That's one scenario. If you have excused yourself from an employment situation and you know that you need to get involved in something again, again, it's about learning a new skill and putting your energies in a completely new direction. I don't just see this as you need to leave that job and go over here. Whatever ended here, it was successful for you, but also with this card, it tells me that you reached your maximum potential. You can't get it. You can't go any further. It's not going to be fulfilling, but this is wish fulfillment. Watching your spending and taking control. I mean, maybe it is a role that you need to take, guiding others, being a mentor, a counselor of some sort, guiding somebody on the path that you just completed here. And I don't know why it ended this way. Again, I can only interpret the experience. I'm not seeing exactly what transpired. More cards of advice, please. I'm going to get up and check the camera again. I apologize for the interruptions, but I just want to be sure. Yep, we are good. We are good. Because this is a good reading. I wouldn't want to have to re-record it. It would be hard to recreate, honestly. I'd have to start over from scratch. King of Diamonds. You're very much in control of your finances with this King of Diamonds. Now, this is also Earth energy. Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. Could be somebody that you can rely upon to give you good advice. Since, again, I haven't forgotten that you are in a situation you've never been in before. You don't have experience in this. So maybe feeling a little bit out of your element, like this is a little bit over your head. Well, there could be somebody around you, again, an earth sign, who could help you with that, especially Taurus. I always see Taurus as very practical, especially in money matters. They just seem to have that sense. I've known some Tauruses that just, they were no nonsense when it came to finances and whatnot, because security to them, monetary security, is very important with that sign. But it could also be you, again, taking control and being encouraged to take control of your financial future and watching the spending again. Any more cards of advice for Scorpio? Yes, Six of Diamonds. Look at that. Options and opportunities presenting themselves for you to take better financial responsibility. Now, if you did have a significant enough windfall, you're probably in the process of taking better financial responsibility For example, paying off a mortgage, something huge. Or it could be something small, like paying off a vehicle, not having to lease your car anymore, paying off debt, credit cards, all of the above. It looks like you're headed that way. There's going to be more opportunities for that, though. So, what remains to be seen, right? What more abundance can fall in your lap? What looks like there will be. It's not going to end there. More advice for Scorpio. I have a feeling that we've reached the crucial advice here. It's just about confirming how your life's going to be changing here. And you are experiencing, I think, already some stress relief. But the more so it came out right after that. The more responsibility you take financially, the more stress relief you're going to experience in your lifestyle. Not sure how that speaks to you. I know how it would apply to me. Again, it would be like paying off the debts, not having to stay indebted to a credit card for years and years until a balance is paid down. That in itself is a stress relief, right? Because it's peace of mind. It's peace of mind. Your riches will be for you and not for some big credit card company anymore. How nice is that? That feeling is fantastic. But again, the 4 emphasizes the security and stability you're standing on in your lifestyle, in your home. So I think I'm going to end it there. But the biggest takeaway here, Scorpio, is about acquiring this new knowledge. Starting somewhere, but a new beginning. I mean, maybe there's the fire sign around you that this represents, but if not, I see the kings as taking control of the situation. Like I said, with this one, it's about. Actually, I forgot to mention King of Clubs, also the Queen of Clubs. They're supportive and generous. So perhaps being generous to others and supporting others, not necessarily financially, but supporting others now that you have more free time. You have more experience under your belt, any of those things. Giving of yourself and supporting others so that helping them on their journey may be the role that will help you reach this wish fulfillment. Again, it's about being a counselor. It's about offering your guidance, your expertise. Probably not getting paid for it because you don't need it. Wish fulfillment. Completion. How sweet is that? And again, you're sitting on this windfall and you're being advised just to watch the spending. Just to be careful with it. Especially since you are green. Acknowledge that part of you. There's no shame in it. It's just acknowledging where you are and that you need to gain some knowledge and experience handling new wealth. And you don't know where things are headed. Because I was like, yeah, and you don't know how things are going to turn out because it's all so new to you. The Fool card again. Things just haven't settled yet. It's all that coming down and settling as we speak. Okay, I'm going to end it there. If you'd like to see when the next reading comes out, go ahead and hit subscribe notifications. If you'd like to make a small donation to my virtual tip jar and buy me a tea, you can follow that link at the bottom of the description box. It actually says buy me a coffee. You can copy and paste that into your browser. Sends you right there. Very simple. I thank you in advance if you're able to do that, okay? You enjoy your abundance here, Scorpio. It looks like things are going really well for you. And I hope to see you again here soon. And take care until I do.